participate in lifestyle marketing that fits your lifestyle and who you are. So for instance, I walked in GA's room and like when I say this man has, you probably have more in watches. I know for a fact you have more in watches than your house costs.
Yeah.
Facts. Like I know, and it's like nothing wrong with that. And he loves watches. So if GA wanted to start creating content about how his watches outperformed the S&P 500 last year, which you thank me later. I better see that content coming out soon.
Absolutely.
If he wants to perform content on how each of his watches outperformed another stock, that's dope because he's a watch person and that's on brand with who he is, right? Like if you love to travel, that's what I love to travel. So part of my lifestyle marketing is a lot of first class flights. I paid $9,000 to fly first class round trip to Dubai. And I made content about that because I love traveling. So that's a part of my lifestyle marketing.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Melanin Money Show.
Welcome back.
How y'all feeling? Cue the bass music. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I know you like that. Yo, man, this is what business is about, right? Like, we do this show every week. Rain, sleet, snow, hail, whatever it might be. We having fun doing it. We're not dreading this. Oh my gosh, we gotta do another episode. Like, it's fun, man. And I hope that everybody listening, you can find something within your business that you just enjoy, right?
You know what we should do? Like, because first of all, our phone conversations could be podcast episodes.
It's the whole fact.
Like the 45-minute conversation we had last night. That was an easy $1 million conversation.
Easily
$1 million conversation.
Right.
So what we should maybe do in the future is like create like a Patreon or something where we like post a different podcast where we're like just having a conversation like that we're having about money, about business, about investments, about whatever like that.
Yeah.
Or we can make that a part of the Melanin Millionaire Club.
That's what I was thinking. Or we can start making that part of the Melanin Millionaires Club, right? Have an exclusive, like the private podcast. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Hey, y'all are watching magic happen like literally in real time. So again, melaninmoney.com/join. The Melanin Millionaire Club is a community of other like-minded future Melanin millionaires is coming together to build community around making money and having a lifestyle that we desire. But we're going to create another show, a private podcast that we're going to post only inside the club where like you all are just a fly on the wall on me and GA's conversations about business, about investing, about money plays, and you all get more game and more sauce. That's it right there.
That's it. Done. It's done, right? Real time, execution, ideation. All right, guys. So this is going to be a fun one. I know on social media, right, some people get a bad rep for lifestyle marketing, right? You wonder if they're scamming, if they're just trying to sell a course or a digital product or a coaching program. You're wondering if they're just standing in front of the jet they never got on or standing in front of the Lambo they don't own. And you wonder like, man, what is this lifestyle marketing all about? Right. And we thought it would be a great episode to dive in on it because, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, y'all seen us on a PJ, right? Before, right? Together. You've seen Carter in front of, multiple luxury cars that he owns that he, not rented. Right. And so we are uniquely qualified to talk about lifestyle marketing, right? Objectively at that. So let's get into it. Okay. So Carter, I'll let you kind of kick us off. Because I feel like as a single man, you do a little bit more of it than I do these days. But like, tell us your philosophy or kind of just general thought process on lifestyle marketing.
Well, first of all, am I single? It is not the time to play. But So my initial thoughts on lifestyle marketing, I'll hit it from both sides, right? Because lifestyle marketing works. We can't say it doesn't. Let's just be honest. Like
Right.
I've bought things because of the status of the person that was selling it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest, if Floyd Mayweather and a homeless person gave you the same advice at the same time, you would tell a homeless person move around, but you would take Floyd Mayweather's word and jot down notes as if you never gonna hear from him again. So
Yep.
like it works because as human beings, we associate value to people that have a lot of money. Like you cannot lead where you did not go. So if you're not rich, it's really hard for me to take advice from you or want to learn from you because you haven't gotten where I'm trying to go yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like to say that lifestyle marketing works when people see someone in front of a luxury house, a luxury car, a private jet, a lot of money in their hands. They tend to listen more because that person in their mind is somewhere that has arrived somewhere that they're trying to get to.
Right.
That's what
100%. And so I think it is a nuanced conversation, right? Because there are people who do have it and have arrived, right, from a financial standpoint, but just have chosen not to buy some of the status symbols that people perceive, right? That makes them know that you have wealth, right? I heard this quote before that I actually use pretty frequently. And it's like, you know, rich people do the right things. Wealthy people own the right things, right? And so it's kind of like wealth is in some regard is what you don't see, right? Because you don't really see how much money somebody has in the bank account. You don't really see how much money somebody has invested. Unless they're a real estate investor or they're leveraging their lifestyle to market, you might not see the real estate portfolio they have in another state, right? So from that regard, it's like, I can't really show you everything, right? But in the same token, in this era of people being able to like kind of get over on people, it's almost like you got to kind of show a little something as proof, because how do we separate you from the person who, you know, doesn't have it, right? And I think the beautiful part about it is everybody can do it in their own way. So for example, like Carter, a couple episodes ago was talking about like my watch collection. It's like, it's one of those things like, if you know, right? I might not necessarily have a car that would make you think or know if I have money. But if you know watch, like every time I see David Shan, every time I got a different watch, like, yeah, bro, look, people, he like pull me to the side a little bit. And like, because he knows like what these watches cost, right? And so I do believe that it gives everybody, you don't have to do something that doesn't align with like the way you want to do it, but everybody has to do it in their own way. Even if it's subtle, you got to have a way to, for lack of better terminology, let these know. You know what I'm saying? You got to let them know.
Yeah, and no, that's a fact, and I agree with everything you said. Now, the bad part is this, because we just gave you all the good part about lifestyle marketing. Now, what I don't like about lifestyle marketing is if you're not marketing your actual lifestyle, that is when it becomes a problem. If you're renting a car that you don't own to make people conceive that you have more than you actually have, or you're standing in front of a house that's not yours. Or right. Like, and I've seen the worst of. I see somebody try to like pull a door, like act like they were pulling a door handle of a car and it's embarrassing. So like that is the worst part about lifestyle marketing because now you're lying and you have malicious intent because you're trying to show people that you're somebody you're not in order to get them to transact with you to probably get a product that's not going to help them because it ain't helped you yet. You know what I'm saying?
Big
like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't helped you yet. So
it ain't helped you yet. Yeah.
It ain't helped you. How you gonna stand in front of a car and try to sell me something that can help me get a Lamborghini when you don't got one?
How heavy, right? And that's the fine line between this, right? There's a difference between lifestyle marketing and marketing your lifestyle, right?
Facts. That's a
bar.
Leveraging
your lifestyle as a marketing tool, right? So it's like, if to Carter's point, if you are just going to the private jet space to take a picture or a photo shoot, probably not the way, right? Just be strategic. If you actually fly private or actually fly first class or actually have a Lambo, just be intentional, right? We're not saying don't be intentional about getting the content, but there should never be a scenario where it's like, I've never flown private, I never fly first class, I don't own a Lambo, and I'm going to orchestrate this narrative in a day so that y'all can think I got it. That's the issue. There's no issue with showcasing and sharing whatever you decide you want to share about your life and leveraging that as marketing. Because remember on the last episode, we just talked about taxes. That's the tax hack, right? If I use my car, right, or if I use certain things in my advertising, with it done correctly, that can be a tax deduction.
What's going on, guys? My name is George Acheampong.
I'm Jacqueline Shattuck.
And I'm Carter Cofield.
And we are the founders of Melanin Money. And the reason why we started Melanin Money is because we know that there's a great disparity when it comes to building wealth among people of color. We have a tremendous mission that we want you guys to join, right? Every single year, we want to help at least 1,000 people improve their net worth by $100,000, which will create $100 million of new Black wealth every single year.
Can you imagine $100 million of new Black wealth every year? As it stands right now, for every $1 that a white family has, a Black family has a mere 10 cents to match that dollar. We want to increase the wealth in the Black community so that we can have equal opportunities.
Simply put, we're about closing the wealth gap, and it starts with you.
So see you inside.
So that's always okay. But if you don't own it and you flexing something that you ain't got to try to deceive people into transacting with you, that's where we personally draw the line.
Yeah. And with that being said, now we can just talk about the proper ways to lifestyle market or market your lifestyle. And I think what you said before was perfect. Like participate in lifestyle marketing that fits your lifestyle and who you are. So for instance, I walked in GA's room and like, when I say this man you probably have more in watches. I know for a fact you have more in watches than your house costs.
Yeah.
Facts. Like I know. And it's like nothing wrong with that. And he loves watches. So if GA wanted to start creating content about how his watches outperformed the S&P 500 last year, which you thank me later. I better see that content coming out soon.
Absolutely.
If he wants to perform content on how each of his watches outperformed another stock, that's dope because he's a watch person and that's on brand with who he is, right? Like if you love to travel, that's what I love to travel. So part of my lifestyle marketing is a lot of first class flights. I paid $9,000 to fly first class round trip to Dubai. And I made content about that because I love traveling. So that's a part of my lifestyle marketing. But it's corny when you're not a car person. Like, you don't like cars. And you're getting this car just to market and now you don't even like it like that. So I think that lifestyle marketing done proper, in my opinion, is picking the things that you like to splurge on. Like shout out to Kamoy. Like his lifestyle marketing is amazing because he's in another country showing you different bars and like that's so on brand.
Yep. As a matter of fact, I was at a conference 2 years ago at this point, because 2023, a little less than 2 years ago. And there's a guy that walked up to me. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know you had the two-tone Rollie or whatever." I was like, yeah, I got it. Mind you, I've been a watch guy since college, right? I started out with the Nautica watches, you know what I'm saying? But I've been a watch guy since college. So I'm not always going to post or talk about my watches just because for me at this point, it's normalized. It's like we normalize Black wealth, shout out to the brand. So it's kind of normalized for me, right? But he's like, "I know you had it. I didn't see you like post about it or do a reel or a story about it." I was like, "Yeah, man, I had this for a while." You know what I'm saying? Kind of just had it. And he's like, "Oh, true. He's like, "Man, yeah. Honestly, I don't even really like luxury clothes and watches like that, but I got to do it, man. I got to do it. It's part of the game." And I got looked and I'm like, "No, you don't, right? Like, you got to do what's right for you." You know what I'm saying? This is right for me. Anybody can take people I don't even probably have relationships with anymore just because time has passed can tell you, even in college, I was buying watches that I could afford at that time, right? I've since gifted them to my brother-in-law. Because once you put on the Rollie, and it's kind of hard to put on the Michael Kors or the what's the other joint, the Nautica watches. But I have been buying watches for a while, right? And so that's true to me. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the key. And the other thing is you can't stop being judgmental about something because really in most cases that's just a reflection of an insecurity of something that you want. And you're casting that judgment on someone else. If you get mad when you see somebody flexing a Lambo, what you're really saying is that I really want the Lambo and I'm mad that they got it and I don't. Because when I see somebody with a Lambo, no emotion is evoked. I want to ride. This is just comfortable. No emotion is evoked. But if an emotion is evoked inside of you, it's less about them and it's more about what it says about you. right? And that's some self-work that
He had
you
to
got
do all
to do.
that. He ain't have to get that car to put. What are we doing?
What are we talking about, right? Like, what are we talking about? Like, at the end of the day, here's what did it for me, right? What did it for me in marketing in general is on the first of the month, right? When a lot of my bills have to be paid, or when payroll, it's time to pay payroll. Nobody from Instagram sends me any money. No one from TikTok sends me any bread. I got to meet payroll. I got to pay my bills. And you should never let someone shame you for doing what makes sense for you to grow your business. If you're cheap like me and you have the commercial version of Hulu, right? The same commercial plays 5 times in a 40-minute episode, right? But yet you're afraid to post one time on Instagram. Man, I don't know if I want to inundate my followers. First and foremost, Instagram ain't even showing all your followers, right? Your content. That's another episode for another day, right? So why are you worried about marketing your business to get new customers and what other people think? And then people ain't sending you no money. Why?
I'm down.
What are you worried about, right? A hit song is not made, it's marketed. You ever wonder, you hear a song like, it ain't really that fire, right? Like it ain't, but why is it a hit song? Marketing.
Mm-hmm.
The person who's the most known wins. If you happen to be good and you market, now you're dangerous.
What's up, guys? Congratulations on joining Team Black Wealth. But we'd be remiss if we didn't give you a uniform as an official player on the team. So head over to shop.melaninmoney.com and grab your official uniform for Wealth Builders of Color.
We'll see y'all at practice.
Right? If you happen to actually be good, actually have a good, mess around and have a good product. Right? And you market like crazy. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. It's over. Right? So don't shame people for doing what they want to do in order to grow and scale their business, as long as they're doing it the right way. If you really own the Lambo, use the Lambo. If you really own the 10,000 square foot house, use the house. If you really fly first class, use the first, please. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. And I want to hit on this point as well. I think people who are 100% against lifestyle marketing are leaving a lot of money on the table. Like, I think the people who are saying like, I'm not showing anything because I'm above this. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a space for that. Like, if you're a hedge fund manager, then you don't got to show me nothing. Just keep managing that money behind closed doors. But if you're in this social media space, if you're in the space of building your brand, I know you're leaving money on the table by not partaking in lifestyle marketing at all. Because here is the sad reality, right? I'm not going to buy something from somebody who is not doing what I want to do or who is not being who I want to be. That's a fact. So if nothing about you says that you're in a place that I want to be, I'm more than likely not going to buy from you, right? Because I need to see my future in you in order to like really be all in on you. Like it could be anything. Like one of my mentors, he doesn't like buying stuff, but his thing is like he will never, ever, ever get on a commercial fight again. Ever.
That's why he charges. Now I see why he charges so much, because them flights is not cheap.
And the flight's not cheap. He's like, yo, I just will never fly. I remember being on the phone with him one day telling him like, man, like, I really want to come to, your event, but like the flights is not really lining. I'm gonna get there super early, super late. He's like, why don't you just fly private? I was like, and he said it like just so like nonchalant. I was like, I want to get to a place where like I can say that and I actually believe it. Like he was dead ass. Like, why would you fly private? You can hear whatever time. I'm like, not there yet, but that's admirable, and I want to get there. So I just think that if you're not partaking in lifestyle marketing at all, you're leaving money on the table.
And let me give y'all a quick gem real quick, because sometimes you think lifestyle marketing is exclusively related to like showcasing your material possessions that you've acquired, right? Carter brought up a very good point, right? If you're not living the life that I want to live. So guess what? If you're in the fitness industry, I'm saying the best form of lifestyle marketing. Look like the person I want to look like. That's lifestyle marketing. If you show me in the gym with your shirt off and you got the 6-pack, right? And you got your chest real bulky, it's like, oh, he know what he's talking about. If I'm looking for a trainer, that's the guy, right? So one of the underutilized and overlooked versions of lifestyle marketing is simply become the version of yourself that the people who are trying to buy your product, if it aligns with who you are, that you just being you attracts them, right? So for example, there's another guy, shout out to Jay Hines, Joseph Hines, who does the suits, he was at my man be killing it with the suits. Matter of fact, this shirt I got on is a custom from him, right? See the initials, right? It's a custom from him. And I didn't even plan that. It just ended a beautiful thing when it just kind of worked out that way. But so this guy is sharp. He looks amazing. So if I'm going to look to anybody to buy custom suits, like, yo, he got it. Now somebody else could be making the fabric or making the suits exactly like he makes it. But if it don't look good on him, or like, I'm going to choose Jay Hines every day of the week. Mm-hmm. So you got to look like the part, right?
And it's a fact, because I went up to him. I was like, bro, I want one of those. I didn't know he was the owner of the brand. He looked good, and whatever he was wearing, like, hey, bro, I need one of those, right? Like, he's like, oh, this is mine. I'm like, dope. I need one of those. And to your point, bro, I'm living in Columbia now. When I went to the gym, I found the swollest dude in the gym that had a uniform on. I said, hey, yo, I need you to be my trainer. And that was it. There was no other conversation. He looked the part. Here go my money, right? Let's go. Right. So I think like you said, the best form of lifestyle marketing is as being the person like Rihanna with Fenty. She looks good in her stuff. Mm-hmm. $1 billion later, here we are.
So that's simple. So for all you like, oh, I don't want to just buy this to showcase. Okay, well, what is it that just reverse engineer it? What is it that I sell? Who is my ideal person? Who's my ideal client? And what would it need to look like for them to just literally see me and be like, I want that, right? Like, what would it take, right? And the beautiful part about it, here's what I always tell people. You're in a good place. So for example, my focus is investing. I'm a good investor, right? You know that you're in a good place with your business where it's nice to be able to package up your intellectual property and whatever it is or service and sell that. But if I don't mess with none of y'all, I'm still Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still good, right? So the thing is, people try to skip steps, right? It's like, I haven't become a person of true value yet. I haven't really got it figured out. Let me go ahead and try to sell something real quick, right? And then you get frustrated if you're not getting the traction, because now you're depending upon that because you haven't actually made a bag in another way. Before Carter ever created a course, he was a multi-six-figure CPA firm owner, right?
Part of this, didn't want no part of it.
You see what I'm saying? So, and the same thing with me on the financial planning and investment side. So it's like, it makes it so much easier. And I remember a buddy of mine in 2010, back when I first was like about to get in the financial service industry, he was trying to convince me, well, he wasn't really trying to convince me. I'm taking that back. He was letting me know the success that he was having in the industry. Right. And at the time I was kind of on the fence. I'm like, okay, like maybe I could do, because I got a double major in marketing and economics, and I was interning for Coca-Cola, and I was just going to lean in on the marketing side. Luckily, that still has come in handy over the years, but I was going to lean into that. And so he showed me his tax. He didn't show me a check. He didn't show me gross revenue. He showed me his tax returns. Right. And he said, this is what I made last year. This is what I made the year before. Showed it to me. Right. And then he didn't say anything else. He uncrossed his legs and he proceeded to walk out the door. Right. And he said, look, and then before he left, he said, when it hits different, right? When you sit in front of a client, you can look them dead in the eye and tell them, it don't matter what we do here today. I'm going to eat steak dinner tonight, regardless. It's a different thing. He said that has stuck with me ever since. Right. It's like, I'm going to eat regardless. Right. So put yourself in a position in business where you become a person of value, that these other things that you start doing as you start branching out to different revenue streams, packaging up your IP, you've already solidified yourself in another space to where, technically speaking, you don't have to do that. You're still going to be good. You might want to do it, right? But you're not, your livelihood isn't relying upon you scamming somebody because you haven't quite gotten there yet. Right? Become who you say you are before you try to jump out here and be somebody on the internet.
What's going on, guys? I'm George.
I'm Jacqueline.
And I'm Carter.
And we are your money mentors. But today we wanted to talk to you about a really special feature, Financial Flicks. Can you imagine an entire on-demand library of financial content across 3 main categories: wealth building, entrepreneurship, and personal finance, so that you can take your finances to the next level?
Guys, when you replace entertainment with education, your life will change forever. Imagine replacing 1 hour of Netflix with 1 hour of financial flicks. Imagine how much further that could take you to your financial destination. And we have the perfect library for you.
Yeah, so if you're ready to financial flicks and chill with us to put more of your energy into education, then join us in the club. We can't wait to see you there.
See you there.
Sheesh. Lord, Donald chopped that up. That's gonna be a real within itself. My God, it was so much realness in that. I mean, bro, yeah, I don't think I can even ask it. That's if people understood that part, become the person first.
Right.
Do everything else. Like, you know, the way I explain it is, you want to get experience, expert, educate. Get the experience first. Then become an expert. First, become an expert to yourself. Because if you don't believe you're an expert, nobody else will. Then become an expert to everybody else through your content, through your branding. And after you do that, then you can start educating by selling your information, but do not skip steps, right? Because you'll be building a house on janky foundation.
Because here's the thing, guys. Confidence comes from competence, right? Like I spoke at Julian Gordon's conference, first week of the year, second week of the year, and someone texted me, one of my clients was actually there. They're like, yo, I never seen you speak live. Like, I seen you do webinars. That was fire. Like you really got a presence. Like that was fire. And it's like, how are you so confident on stage? I was like, I don't talk about shit that I don't know about. That's simple. Right? People, you know, I turn down more things than I accept. Right. And I don't know if I should go here, but even in my single days, right?
If y'all didn't see my face on YouTube, man, like y'all got I'm like, where's he going? I'm like, oh, that's where you're going. Yeah, you a wild boy. But
it's really that simple though, guys. It's like when you become a person of value, it's okay to say no. Like in the beginning of my career, I never wanted to look like I didn't know something. Right. So I wanted to do everything. I wanted to be the expert. I wanted to be all things to all people. You know, when it gets really comfortable, when you move along in your journey and you're content and comfortable in who you are and what you know, where your expertise lies, that you like, I love saying, I don't know. Right. So for example, Carter was a financial advisor before he leaned all the way into the tax component. Right. And yes, he knows about investing and building wealth. But like, if someone asks Carter to come speak on fundamental analysis, he's not going to take the speaking gig. Right. Not because he couldn't if he wanted to, not because he couldn't put a little something together real quick. You know what I'm saying? Of course he could do that, but it's not about if you could, right? Or it's not even about if you should. It's about, does this align with the person that I want to become? The reason why taxes is now synonymous with Carter's name is because he made a decision to own it, right? If you do everything you can, you will never become the person that owns a lane. You'll never become a person that owns the lane. You just have to make a decision. Is it hard? Right? There's so many things that like, if y'all think Carter only knows about taxes, you got him all the way messed up, right? But he's making the discipline right now to own the lane. He owns real estate in his hometown. He could come on and go in front of the property and say, hey, guys, I'm taking you on my journey of my multifamily real estate. But he hasn't done it because he wants to own the lane. He was doing Turo before Turo was really, everybody was talking about it. He could come on and sell a course on that, but he's not, because he wants to own the lane. So there's a lesson in that, guys. There's so much stuff that we do. I invest in all sorts of stuff, private equity, venture. Y'all don't see me talking about it on Instagram, right? Like, y'all got to just have the discipline to become well-versed and an expert at something. And then once you have the Midas touch, then that gives you infinite leverage to venture into whatever you want. We talk about this all the time. Like, we're building a brand. Kevin Hart, The Rock, all these people. Why can they now touch all these different areas? Because they became great at one thing first. Jay-Z came great at one thing first. Diddy came great at one. Success leaves clues. LeBron, do I need to go on? Right? Success leaves clues. So guys, leverage your brand, to become an expert. Well, become an expert first to build a brand. And then when you build that brand, it's going to give you an infinite amount of leverage to do whatever you want to do in this world. If you think we're not touching all sorts of stuff over the next 4 to 5 years, in terms, fragrances, spirits and cologne, tequila, whatever we want to do, we touching it. Why? Because we're building a brand. a brand that will stand the test of time, that will outlive us, right? That at some point, y'all will know the brand more than you know us. And that's fine, right? That's fine, because I love when I can look at something and I know I own a piece of it and someone's infatuated with it. They have no idea that I own it, right?
You get the opinion. You get the honest opinion. You really think it's that good? Man, I've been rocking with this. Dope.
It makes, not that I would ever say or do anything to get me canceled, but it kind of makes you uncancelable, right? It kind of makes you uncancelable. So guys, like, I know we gave you kind of a full, as we always do, kind of gave you more than we bargained for with the episode title, but being the best kept secret is not a badge of honor. If what you do is beneficial and impactful and can change somebody's life, you have not only an obligation, but a responsibility, right, to serve people. Because there's no way in the world that myself or Carter would be able to impact the people that we want to impact, that we just stayed in our silos and only did our firm, never launched a podcast, never created a course, never created a community. It would be impossible. Even if we hired 10 CPAs and 10 financial advisors, it would literally be impossible to even scratch the surface of the level of impact that we can have at scale by marketing, by packaging up our intellectual property and sharing it with the world, instead of caring about what y'all say in the comments. You know what? In every sport, there's spectators and there's people that play the game. If you think for 1 second I'm ever going to care about what somebody got to say on the sidelines and they're not playing the game, they're not on the field, you got me all the way messed up. And some of y'all are so concerned about what spectators got to say, trolls in the comments who ain't never did nothing for nobody, right? And letting that block your ability to impact the world. Carter, I know you posted to promote on the shade, not shade room, but what's that other?
Hollywood Unlocked. I posted that today. I will never check the comments.
Right. People gonna talk, but again, what I said in the beginning of the episode, that's more of a reflection of them. I wish I had the audacity. I wish I actually knew what he was talking about so that I could do it. But instead, I'm gonna hate on it because it's gonna make me feel better. That's why I have empathy. I have empathy for haters, because that tells me that you're hurt, like something in you isn't right. I don't have the energy to hate. I got too much good stuff going on.
It's funny that you say that, because I literally just posted, I think on Hollywood Unlocked, like teaching people the steps on how to write off like Cartier frames, like how to legally write off their designer frames. Like it's a step by step. I showed the IRS tax code where that is the first comment. He tried to make all y'all go to jail. I'm just like, yo, like you think I'm gonna risk my 10-year CPA license on this platform to be wrong? You leave the hours, and I was just like, you know what? They just are not in a mental space where they can understand this, and that is okay. But I feel sorry for them. But I can't let this. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, so again, y'all. The moral of the story is, if you're gonna participate in lifestyle marketing, make sure you're marketing your actual lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Don't care what people say who are not paying you, and if you be authentically you, nobody can ever take anything away from you.
100%. And I'll close with this. Alex Hormozi posted a quote the other day. He said I can't find it, but I remember what he said though. He said, there's no secret that the 1% have. There's only the 99% who refuse to believe. Mm-hmm. Right? There's only the 99. Like sometimes some stuff y'all hear or see is so far out of the realm of your belief system and comprehension that it has to be a scam. Right. But I empathize with that, because if Carter would have told me 7 years ago that he's like, yo, Brush ran up seven of them things in 24 hours. 7 what? Who'd you steal from? Who'd you just see? You know what I'm saying? Like, I empathize, right? But it's why you have to get in the right rooms, and why representation is so important, which is why we created this platform. Because the more you see people like me and Carter, regular everyday people showing you what's possible, the more tangible it becomes for you, right? That's why I say it's an obligation to have a mentorship, or obligation to create these courses, because it's like, oh, wait, it wasn't real when the middle-aged white guy did it, but Carter, he's a bro. Like, remember when you met my homies for the first time and they had only seen you on the internet and they were like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I kind of figured because you hang with him, but it's like when people see, wow, like regular, cool, down-to-earth people, they are who they are on the internet, they're the same people offline, they're doing it. Wow, it's possible now. I can touch it. And that's why we do what we do.
And we gonna keep doing it, y'all. As long as y'all stay tuned, y'all gonna be along for the ride.
Peace, especially on that private pod. Coming soon. Don't ever play
Coming
yourself.
soon, loading. Never play yourself. Peace.
Peace, y'all.